Hello there. The House of the Sleeping Beauties by Yasunari Kawabata and two other short stories, One Arm and Of Birds and Beasts. This is a very short collection, 150 pages. The main story is The House of Sleeping Beauties, but they can't sell a book that's only 100 pages, so they had to include some other stuff. I think it was published in 1961, 1962, and it is not writing that I think would get published today. This is the story of Eguchi. He is 67 years old. He's an old man, and one of his friends, also an elderly gentleman, tells him about this special house. And in this house, old men can pay to sleep beside young girls, virgins, not young women, careful, who have been drugged, and they will not wake up, but not to be the rules, so hard to speak about. The rules of the house are quite strict. Men cannot have sexual encounters with these girls. They can fondle them. The lines and the distinctions are a little bit blurred here. They can fondle them, but they cannot penetrate. So what is the purpose? Well, the idea is that these old men are beyond their sexual possibility. They're impotent, all right? They're no longer sexually active. And they pay to sleep with these young girls as a way of reliving the happy experience of what it's like to sleep beside a young woman's body. The girls are drugged, and the men, well, we only know about Eguchi. And Eguchi goes in, and he is often telling us he's not impotent, or he's not an old man like the other old man. He's still someone that these girls should be worried about. He says it so often that we wonder how truthful it is. So he's been told by his friend about this house, and he goes there for an experience. And he goes and he lays beside this girl. She's completely out. It seems like they have been drugged because he's a little rough with them. Like sometimes he pulls their hair. And you would imagine that a girl would not sleep through that, even if she was quite... Anyway, it's... So, you see how comfortable I am speaking about this subject. But when he sleeps with the first girl, he has these dreams about a woman that he was in love with. 2 weeks later, even though he's told himself he will not go back there because it's silly to go back to this house where he just sleeps beside a girl, he does go back. And when he goes in, he's quite shocked that, oh, you mean it's a different girl? And the woman says, yes, the drugs that we give these young women are really quite strong. And so we can't have the same girl working every single night because it's dangerous for her health. So we have several girls. So he's disappointed that he's now going to be sleeping beside a different girl. And there's quite a lot of description of what the girl looks like anatomically. He goes into long passages about her hair, her eyelashes, her face, etc., especially the tits. After he's really given her a thorough examining, he also takes some sleeping tablets, not as strong as what the girls have been given, and he has these dreams when he's sleeping beside these women. And that is the story of the House of the Sleeping Beauties. I don't want to spoil it for you. Shall I give you a little bit more information? Well, he goes back, and then he goes back again, because he's a little bit preoccupied with the different girls and the dreams that he's having while he is with these women. It's something from Japan from the 1960s. I really enjoy Japanese literature because there's quite a lot of sexual difficulties, if we can put it that way. And so much good Japanese writing is really difficult sexual stuff. I didn't enjoy this book too much. It was okay. I do really enjoy the sexually deviant stuff. It's just that it's a little bit hard for me to appreciate a 67-year-old man who keeps trying to reaffirm that he's still potent and that he could do something to these girls, but he doesn't want to break the house rules, sleeping beside young women who've been drugged and who are quite unconscious to the world for money. I don't know, maybe I'm becoming conservative in my middle age. I was looking forward to this book because recently I've read this one, and last year I read this one. This one I really liked. This one I'm not too sure about, but this one, I love this book. I was very keen to read The House of the Sleeping Beauties, but it's just so-so. There's an introduction by Mishima, that's good. The two other short stories, okay, the story One Arm is about a man, who is with a woman, and she takes off her arm and gives it to him to take home with him for an evening, to sleep beside. And he talks to her arm, and her arm talks to him. And the final story is about a man who keeps animals, a lot of birds, because he just loves animals far more than he does people. But somehow he kills them accidentally. Like he says that he has these two birds. He left them in the bird bath too long. They got a chill and they died. He tried to revive them, and it's all very nonsensical. Should you read it? Well, I think I could probably tell you the title of about 200 other books to read before this one, because there's other stuff to read. If you've got it right there on your shelf and you want something very short and very sexually weird, okay, give it a try, but it's not a book to go out of your way to find. Yasunari Kawabata, he was the first Japanese author to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. I think there was something between him and Mishima, that Mishima wanted to be the Nobel Prize winner. And I think he was a bit jealous when Kawabata won it, but he sort of bowed his head in acknowledgement of the older writer's experience. But Mishima, I believe, wrote quite a lot more than Kawabata did. Oh well, it's funny how some writers really crave the Nobel Prize. But, you know, if your country has never won one before, like if there have been no Japanese authors, when they have such a collection of wonderful writers, you know, Natsume Sosuke, Yukio Mishima, Kawabata, Tanizaki, you kind of look around and say, guys, when is this country going to get a Nobel Prize? Perhaps. Canada, Alice Munro recently won a Nobel Prize and died. Am I proud of it? Not really, because I'm not such a huge fan of Alice Munro. I don't care too much about the Nobel Prize. It's always given to someone I've never heard of. All right, so that's my short, quick review of The House of the Sleeping Beauties. You know, if you're an older gentleman and you feel that your potency is lagging and you want to read something that reflects your experience in the world, this might be the book for you. If you are quite a feminist and you want to get absolutely furious at the misogyny in this book, this might be the book for you as well. Thank you very much for watching. There's no book lottery because that's from the library. My name is Grant. Please like and support the video. And have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Bye.